Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we are talking mock draft season. Again, we are a couple weeks away before the NFL preseason starts, which means fantasy football is on the horizon. We want to help you guys with your upcoming season. So we are going through mock drafts. We're going through the 1 through 10 spot in a 10-man league, and we also have videos for the 1 through 12 spot in a 12-team league. If you guys have different types of formats, whether it be Superflex, Tight End Premium, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to help get some mock drafts out for you guys if there's some unique ones. But I typically stick with the 10 and 12 team leagues, full PPR. So again, this is not Superflex or Tight End Premium, but I want to go to help you out. We are in the 4th spot, so let's jump right into it. So as you can see here, we're in the 4th spot in a 10-team league. We've already done 1 through 3. You kind of have an idea typically between 1 through 3 what players will typically fall and go, which means the 4th spot can vary in a lot of different mock drafts, which makes it kind of fun. I actually am in favor in a 10-man league. I love the 4th to 6th spot because you get some really elite players the 1st through 3rd round. And then you can obviously kind of figure out which route you want to go in the 4th and beyond. So let's get this started. So typically you're going to see CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey, those type of players going off the board. So here you see Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey. I don't hate it at all. I think all 3 of those players can be the 101 player realistically in any of them. For me, based off of what I've seen here, I'm going to grab CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb obviously has been a fantastic wide receiver. Does have some contract issues. We'll see what's going on. He has not been very happy with the situation in Dallas, but I do expect him to play and again be a top tier wide receiver for a passing offense that has been great and lacks some other weapons, especially in the running game. So I like CeeDee Lamb there. Now you'll see some of the obviously running backs going here. Running back is obviously a really hard premium spot to fill unless you grab them within the first 2-3 rounds maybe. So for me, looking at this, I'm going to grab Kyren Williams here, get my wide receiver 1, my running back 1 to really fill out my roster. Now I can go either way. Running backs, you can go into kind of the dead zone, meaning you can get maybe a player like Najee Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, and a lot later rounds and really shore up your wide receivers, maybe grab a premium tight end, and of course getting your dual threat quarterback if they are available. So in the 3rd round, I am typically a player that does not draft a quarterback very early. I've had a lot of success getting a quarterback later on in most drafts that have been able to be still dominant enough where the rest of my position has been really holding the team together. So I will skip a quarterback here. Now looking at what's available, you have Etienne, you've got Achane, Henry, Evans, like some of these receivers, but I'm going to go draft Travis Etienne here because Etienne has been a dog in fantasy. He's been great, even though he does have some concerns with that offensive line. They have not been great. They have not been very efficient. So Etienne has struggled there, but he's been a dual threat when it comes to the receiving game as well. I'm not too worried about Bigsby, even though I do like Bigsby a lot. I like him there. Now, I actually love Isaiah Pacheco, which if I had gone wide receiver, I probably have gone Pacheco in the 3rd round. I'm actually not going to. I'm going to grab another receiver if I can, and that is going to be Deebo Samuel. With everything going on with Brandon Ayuk, I do have some concerns there. So Deebo Samuel, if healthy, that is the biggest thing with him. If healthy, Deebo Samuel is an absolute stud. He can play all over the field. He scores a lot of touchdowns. He's a deep threat. I love what he's been able to do. So again, I got both my receivers, both my running backs here. Could have got a quarterback had Lamar Jackson fallen. I wouldn't grab Stroud this early. Again, because his rushing ability is not really there, I would hold off a little bit. I still want to see another season out of him, but I would hold off a little bit. So looking what I've got here, I can grab a premium tight end like Trey McBride or wait and grab a tight end later on, which is very feasible. I like Trey McBride a lot because he has been a really big target for the Arizona Cardinals. I can grab another receiver, get my wide receiver 3 or 4, which I love Devonta Smith here or Cooper Kupp. Even Zay Flowers is another one. I'm actually going to go and grab the wide receiver here. I've thought about grabbing Trey McBride. If he comes around the other way, I would have grabbed him in the 5th round or 6th round. But I think in the 5th round, Smith is a better option for me because, again, you can get a tight end later I think will be very valuable. Which, again, player like George Kittle falls here. I can even go quarterback here. I'll grab Kittle here because I think Kittle's a nice little pickup in the 6th round. So I really shored up most of this roster without the quarterback. Again, I can get a quarterback later. If you can stack quarterbacks, like maybe stacking CD with Dak, maybe Brock Purdy with Debo and Kittle, nothing wrong with that. I can always stack that. I'm going to actually grab another running back here, and that's going to be, for me, Ramondre Stevenson. Patriots paid him. I believe in that pay. I think it's going to be a big one for him. He's going to need to run. You're going to have Brissett or Drake May at quarterback. There's not a lot of great weapons. So I'm going to go and grab my running back. Now you saw Burrow and Prescott leave here. So my stack with Prescott and Lamb is out of the question. Maybe I get Purdy, but for me, I'm actually going to go and stretch and grab Kyler Murray here. I'm not going to wait. Kyler Murray, being a dual threat that he is at this late of the round, I think is an absolute steal. If you can get Kyler Murray in the 8th, 9th, 10th round, even the 7th round, I actually think that's very valuable for a player like that. Again, as long as he stays healthy, that's what we're all hoping for. Murray is going to be a beast this upcoming season. So my whole starting lineup's really good. I actually like the way this roster is built. I think these guys are all absolute studs with some upside. Now I've got to start filling out the rest of the roster. So filling out the rest of the roster, looking at all of this, you got a lot of solid tight ends here. You got Raheem Mostert, who keeps getting slammed down here because of, I guess, Achane is becoming the RB1, which I'm not sold completely. You can always get Nick Chubb, knowing you're going to have to wait on him. Maybe a McConkey, but I'm actually going to grab Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson, I think, is going to be force-fed plenty of targets in Carolina. I like this new coaching staff for the Panthers. I do think there's going to be an increase in productivity out of Bryce Young. I like Deontay Johnson. If you guys have watched any of my videos, I am big on him this upcoming season. So I've got 4 more spots plus my kicker and defense. So again, it's all about depth here, getting the best player available at their position, because that is, I think, is the most important way to play in fantasy at this point. So for me, looking at these, I'm going to grab Jackson Smith and Jigba because I think he does supplant Tyler Lockett and become the wide receiver 2 in that offense. You're just hoping that Geno Smith does not regress completely and that, again, JSN has some availability to succeed. So looking at some players here, you got Brian Robinson, who I really like, Gus Bus. Edwards is going to be a great for the Chargers. I do like my running backs, but I can always go and grab another running back. I'm actually going to go and grab another receiver. I'm going to grab Christian Watson for the Green Bay Packers. I know this is a very filled wide receiver room. There's a lot of uncertainty who's going to be the clear wide receiver 1, maybe even the wide receiver 2. But I think Christian Watson shows a lot of ability. He's kind of figured out that whole hamstring situation he's got medically to hopefully have a very successful season going forward. Now, I don't typically grab another quarterback here, but I have to grab Jaden Daniels because he fell this far. Jaden Daniels, again, that Anthony Richardson type player who's got, I think, a better arm, better passing progression. I think he's going to be a better quarterback overall compared to Anthony Richardson. So for me to grab him late, I don't feel like I needed to, but I felt like having a good backup quarterback to Kyler Murray, who has had some injuries, I think this is a good must. And I, again, feel really good about grabbing Daniels there. So looking at the rest of these players, I'm going to handcuff. I don't have Kenneth Walker, but I am going to grab Zach Charbonnet so I can handcuff him in case someone else out there needed him because they have Kenneth Walker. I would rather grab him so my league mates are not getting him at all. Now I've got to fill out the rest of this team, which is my kicker and defense. Getting my kicker, I actually will take Jake Moody. Again, matching that 49er theme going on with what I've got. I think Jake Moody is a good kicker. He's had some issues last season, but I'll take him because I think their team is going to need, obviously, some points. They can get down the field, so I'll take him. And then, of course, continue with the San Francisco 49ers. So if they keep giving them to me, I will keep taking them. They are a great defense going forward. All right, so that is my mock draft for the 104 position. If you guys have questions for any type of mock drafts you got going on, maybe you're in Dynasty, you have some trade questions, hit me up in the comments down below. Again, if you have different formats you'd like to see, I'd love to do some different types of formats for you guys to help you guys out with your upcoming season. Again, we're weeks and weeks away. It's not too far. So let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you think this team actually was going to be built to be a really solid team or if you thought I should have gone different routes. Again, feel free. I'd love to see you guys' different insights. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Check out our other videos we got going out there, not just mock drafts, but other stuff to help you guys out, whether it be sleepers, rookies to draft, things like that. And I'll check you guys out next time.